For CED Magazine's Video Product Showcase, I'm Stuart Schley. I'm here with Yvette Kanouf, who's the president of SeaChange, and Yvette, let's talk about a changing world that we're in today, right? We're sort of de-siloizing, if you will, the way content gets from its beginnings to the end device.
Right.
You guys are playing a huge and instrumental role in figuring that out. So I'm just going to invite you to tell me about the intelligent video platform, what problems it solves.
Well, I mean, you really touched on it. The key to this diagram, which kind of depicts it a little easy, is going all the way from the content creator. And we used to have this mindset that, you know, you'd look at something specific. Let's take VOD content, MPEG-2, and how to get that through your system to one particular device. And we have to really erase that and think of all the different areas of content, including content types and formats, and the complexity of getting those to all these different sources, right? And it's not traditional cable anymore. Everything's going IP. There are different ways to get to your customers. And then, of course, the customers are changing to all different types of devices. So as a result, there's a lot of complexity that happens in the middle, as opposed to kind of the environment that we had years ago, which was a very simple back office. So the intelligent video platform really takes care of all of the workflow of getting from the content provider to all these different devices, managing all of the key parts of that metadata processing, including all of the different types of metadata to go to different devices and places, managing different content distribution networks and where they play, from internet to television and wireless. Content management, business applications, you know, all of the management that needs to happen in software to get the content flexibility for tomorrow's television.
It's an intensive software development and engineering challenge, isn't it?
It is, but I think that the nice thing about it is that because the complexity is becoming more and more extreme. You know, we're only adding to the types of devices, adding to the distribution networks, adding to formats and flexibility. That, you know, it's nice to be able to manage your workflow as opposed to having to, you know, manually move forward. So I think it is complex, but it's a good place to be.
Talk about, if you take me through the client publisher's box here, what does that represent and how does its integration work?
Well, this is kind of a fun box, actually, because, you know, there are so many different trends that are happening as far as how we view content. And again, it gets back to the complexity. Search becomes really important.
Right.
You know, how do we get to the content? We can have all the content in the world, but it becomes too difficult to find it. So enabling complex search engines, and then kind of going along with that is recommendations. You know, there's so much capability in additional buy rates, you know, and also customer loyalty. Really, they like having the ability to both search and get recommendations, and that includes some social networking as well. You know, being able to recommend by groups and social network organizations. And then advertising, you know, that becomes really much more advanced in terms of so many different ways, right? Playlisting support, targeted advertising sharing. And then T-commerce is another fun one. I think that you will see a lot of capabilities in what we can do with T-commerce in the future off of all the different screens.
When you talk to non-cable people about what you do and what your job is, give me an example of something very cool that happens on the consumer side as a result of all this effort and intelligence and engineering that you've put into this video platform.
Okay, so what I like to tell people is pick a place where you are, anytime, anywhere, right? Pick a piece of content that you would want to see, watch it on one device, pause it, and pick it up in a different place at a different time on a different device. And in the future, really this whole world of I buy a service for a device, you know, goes away, and you really have all your content, and it's not just linear, it's not just on demand.
Right.
Think of it, the whole world of content, including, you know, your internet access content on any device that you have it. And I think that, you know, that consumer aspect is what we have to hold on to, and we build all the complexity behind it.
And then final question, has the cable industry's mindset about the manner in which content is delivered changed in the last 5 years? When you talk about, this is an industry that's for a long time sent traffic to over proprietary networks to proprietary set tops. And now you have this embrace, I think, of all these devices that are not made Apple iPads.
Right, right.
So what's changed? What's
well,
driven that?
I mean, there's so much that's changed, but mostly I think that the proprietary networks wasn't a design that cable had to say we want to be proprietary. It was more that a long time ago we bought systems, and the systems were complete and whole, and
Right.
so as what we've done in the last few years, especially, is we've as an industry moved forward so much, so we're adopting all of the best of open interfaces from all the industries, right? So instead of saying, oh, it's the internet versus cable, that's not at all. There's great things in the internet we can use in cable. Doesn't mean that it is the internet, right? So I think that what the biggest change that's happening is the move to embrace all of the best of standards, so we can be nimble, we can be open, and we can add applications and things like that very easily.
A changing world, SeaChange very much at the center of it. Yvette, thanks for taking some time to talk to us. For CED Magazine's Video Product Showcase, I'm Stuart Schley.